The myths and facts of social and digital media. We're going to start off with the video, and I want you guys to watch this video and keep in mind how you receive information and knowledge on social media. And I don't mean just receiving information and knowledge through, let's say, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but even like things like Yelp or TripAdvisor or Airbnb or Uber or Lyft, because this is social and digital media. Okay.
I'm sure you've heard the buzz. Social media may be the next big thing. What's it all about? Let's take a visit to Scoopville, a town that's famous for ice cream. For over 20 years, big ice cream companies have been making high-quality ice cream with a big factory in town. A few years back, the company did focus groups and found out that they could maximize profits by offering 3 flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. The residents of the town were content. They never thought it could be different. Then something happened in Scoopville. A new invention came to town. Suddenly, everyone can make their own ice cream for only a few dollars. This changed everything. The Smiths decided to make pineapple ice cream. The Joneses made ice cream with pecans. Soon, every kind of ice cream imaginable was being made by Scoopville's residents at very little cost. Of course, some ice cream was more popular than others, and that was okay. Sylvia's pickle ice cream had a very small but loyal following. That was fine. She only needed enough income to buy ingredients for her next batch. Jarrett's red velvet ice cream became so famous, he created his own store. Over time, people started to think differently about ice cream. It didn't always come from a factory. It also came from friends and neighbors. It became something to share, something to bring people together, something to celebrate. Big ice cream companies still made the best vanilla around, and to their surprise, demand even grew. But it was the unique, original, and authentic flavors made by the residents that brought people to Scoopville. When they arrived, however, there seemed to be a problem. There were too many flavors. Visitors felt overwhelmed. They needed ways to find the new, the popular, the flavors that were interesting to them. Franklin had an idea for his ice cream. Outside his house, he erected a board and invited his customers to share their thoughts on his ice cream. They could use words to describe it, stars to rate it, and leave messages for others. People loved it. At a glance, visitors could tell what his ice cream was all about and learn from people like them. Over time, each resident had their own board. Sylvia's board showed that her pickle ice cream didn't please everyone, but was very unique and interesting. Jarrett's board overflowed with positive reviews and ratings. Soon, a few things became clear. First, their ice cream got better because they could learn directly from customers. Second, free customer reviews were more valuable than costly advertising. And third, the boards created a way for customers to find exactly what they wanted. The combination of new technology and new ways to work with customers helped the residents feel like a unique community. So, this is social ice cream, by the people, for the people. It turns out that ice cream and social media have a lot in common. Today, everyone has a chance to make their own flavors, thanks to free tools like blogs, podcasts, and video sharing. Plus, we now have new ways for real people to play a role in providing feedback, organization, and promotion. Whether you're a big, established company, an individual with loyal fans, or simply someone with ideas and opinions, social media means new opportunities to create and communicate with people that care. New tools are arriving in cities and towns around the world. When this change comes to your neighborhood, the choice is yours. What flavors will you make?
Okay. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. So let's talk a little bit about what is social media. So social media is defined as consists of online interactions that allow people and businesses to communicate and share ideas, personal information, and information about products and services. So what are some myths? That it's fad, that it's just for the young, that there's no return, it's not right for marketing, for business, social media marketing is new, social media is too time consuming, and that it's free. So let's kind of combat some of these myths. Social media is a fad. It's founded in community socialization and word of mouth marketing, which is something that's always been there. Stable on, based on the stable premise that people are social and want to connect with each other. So if we look back at that Scoopville video, word of mouth marketing, talking about what people are walking by, filling on the board by giving stars, words to describe, comments, similar to Yelp, similar to TripAdvisor, similar to Uber, Lyft, and various other digital media out there. And if you really want to go back and think about when we were younger, for those of you who can remember, let's say, Blockbuster, or having to just go and pick a movie out at a video store, you'd walk in, you'd stand there, you'd look around at the movies, and you'd just, what do I want to get today to watch? And you'd have a random stranger come up and say, hey, you know what? I just watched that romantic comedy right there, or I saw that action movie right there, or that horror movie right there is a really great choice. And what do? Most of the time you would have just selected the movie that the random stranger you'd never met suggested to go home and watch. It's kind of a similar thing that we're doing today. All that social media does is take that exact idea that we are social. We like to make choices based on what other people think, and exponentially increase that like 1,000,000 times more. It's related to technological evolution that continues to provide new and attractive means for people to interact. Not true. It is here. It's going to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's not rooted in core trends and behaviors and interaction that remain stable over time. It is. So really, social media is here. It's not going anywhere. It's become a staple in the world that we live in today. It's become necessary if you have a business, you have a professional presence. I mean, getting a job today, 90-something% of employers want you to have a LinkedIn account. So it's really important for you to make sure you have a presence. This was a Nielsen. Nielsen is a company that goes and does a lot of the studies when it comes to media. A lot of times you'll hear Nielsen ratings for TV, the sweeps they used to have in March and September, which is when all the new shows would come out, or maybe it was May, September, I don't remember. But Nielsen did some studies on social media and trust in advertising as a whole. They looked at branded websites, so the second most trusted advertising format, behind recommendations from friends and family. So companies with branded websites are the second trusted format. Number one, friends and family, which means that when people word of mouth marketing is out there, you're more likely to trust what they have to say. 2/3 trust consumer opinions posted online, and the third most trusted format. That number has changed. 93%, I think I'll show you a video next week. I think it's around 93% of us make choices based on what we see on social media. I mean, this is your digital media. I mean, think about Amazon. You guys are even going to purchase anything from anywhere. You're going to look it up. You're going to research it before you make that choice. What do other people think about this? So this number, 2/3, has changed. Proliferation of online ad formats has not eroded trust in traditional paid advertising. Roughly 6 in 10 say they trust ads on TV, newspapers, and magazines. Those numbers have changed also. Millennials show the highest level of trust in 18 of 19 advertising formats, channels, including TV, newspapers, and magazines. What they're saying is that we don't pay attention to where information is coming from as much as we just kind of believe what we see, which I think is not true, because if we look at society now in the past 45 years, I feel like there's been a switch that's occurred where people are beginning to really start questioning, where is this information coming from? What is your motivation? Is there a monetary gain for you? Is there political motivation? Humor resonates more strongly in Western markets. Health-themed ads are rated highest in Latin America. And ads depicting real-life situations are most appealing in Asia-Pacific and Africa, Middle East countries. This is really important information, which still stands true for all of these markets. What are they saying? So they're looking at, when you're looking at ads, you're creating advertisements, you're creating social media videos, images to try and capture your audience to come and purchase whatever it is that you're creating, right? I want you to think about it from that business perspective. If you're trying to sell to Western markets, you want to create something that may create some kind of humor. People are like, you're funny. That's hilarious. I'm going to go purchase that. Or, that made you feel good about something. Latin American countries, their ads that are health related tend to do much better. In Asia, Pacific, Africa, Middle East, real life situations. So for me, I start thinking about like any kind of rice ads you might see. And like how a lot of times the rice ads depict family situations where they're eating around the dinner table, how it's made, how easily it was made. So, I mean, and I'm thinking about I see a lot of Asian ads with family who lives in Asia. So that's the perspective that I see. So I don't know if you guys want to chime in. If you could, maybe I can have a discussion question about this somewhere on, do you believe this? What do you think about that? Social media statistics. These numbers have changed, but I mean, we've got Facebook is at the over 2 billion people are active on that daily. So these numbers have been updated. Social media number 2, it's just for the young. No, it's not. These numbers have also been updated. But this is just a quick kind of look at like the demographics. I mean, you're looking at every group, and I mean, look at the age 65 plus, and this is 2014. We're in 5 years later, almost 4.5 years. And if you start looking at the data now, these people who are in some of these age brackets may have moved into different age brackets. That doesn't mean that they're now using different social media. That might mean that different groups here may have increased and different groups may have decreased. Social media myth number 3, there's no return on social media marketing. Instead, social media returns are difficult to measure. A lot of businesses do not currently measure their social media efforts. They can measure, let's say I'm giving you a coupon, or you click on this link, or you use this code to purchase something, and maybe I can track that code or that link to that specific medium that you used. Maybe I only put these on Instagram, or I put this link on Facebook, or this was used on Twitter. So I can see how maybe the medium that you use to get access to whatever product I'm trying to sell or to my company's website, but I don't necessarily know when. I may have known when I posted it, but I don't know when you may have had access to look at that. Or maybe it was a code that somebody sent to you, a family friend. Maybe it was a link. Maybe it was a family friend, anybody, coworker. It could be a code that you found on one of those, you just typed in a code for something specific on Google and it popped up in one of those retailme.coms. Any one of those different coupon house. Or coupon cabin, sorry. I don't necessarily know how I may have captured you. Maybe you're somebody who just came in to purchase stuff, and who knows how you found out about my organization or my company. You might be able to figure out possibly what specific video or image or posting may have created, or where you may have made some more money versus a different post. For example, I have a friend who sells t-shirts that are focused on parents and funny, satirical type of statements. And she notices that when she posts, we're in the United States, so when she posts funny images, remember we talked about how Western themed funny stuff tends to get more feedback. Certain kinds of funny images with the t-shirt that goes with what's happening in the situation, she'll get a lot more clicks onto the website. Now, she may not necessarily know if those clicks to the website are because of that posting, if somebody told them about that, if it was a word of mouth promotion, what it was. But she does know that if she posts certain kinds of videos or images, she gets more activity on the website. But she can't measure exactly who and where and why. And that's why it's hard to measure. Benefits of marketing. 87% of all marketers indicated that their Social media efforts have generated more exposure for the business. Its increased traffic was a second major benefit, and 78% reported positive results. These top two benefits have remained virtually unchanged for the past 4 years. And this is recent data. And the source is at the bottom. Facebook is still ranked second in a December 2017 survey of senior ad buyers in the U.S. as the platform to drive the most return on investment. Google is named number one. So that means that you want to pay for a Google ad search. But Facebook is still, although many of us may look at that as your parents, older siblings, social media site, that's still the place that you want to go for business to make some money. And Twitter is ranked last as a platform to drive ROI in a December 2017 survey of U.S. senior ad buyers. I think Twitter is kind of morphed into its own animal. It's got a different driver in the seat when it comes to what we're posting, and it's become more of a let me just tell you how I feel or what's happening out there versus let me tell you about my company and what we're selling. Social media isn't right for this business. Social media is relevant to business companies as it is to business to customer firms. It has a powerful ability to drive word of mouth or recommendations from friends. It influences search as a resource because search results frequently include social media sites. Even if businesses don't believe in the value of engaging in social conversations as part of marketing, there's no denying the value of a strong business or product presence in search results. And we've talked about this already a little bit. The most important social platform for marketers. So now this is interesting. They were only asked to choose one. They weren't allowed to choose more than one. But when they had to choose their primary platform for marketing their businesses, most of them chose Facebook. So again, you need Facebook if you're going to have some kind of business and you want a web presence. Social media, myth 5. Social media marketing is new. Technology and media are changing the role social, behavioral, economic concepts play in modern marketing. The marketing perspective is not new. It's just how we're doing it is changing. Conversations that are happening, used to happen privately, are now public. They're online. They're viewable for the indefinite future. So you put something on Yelp, that somebody's post is always there. So I think it's important that when you're looking at reviews, for example, that you look at dates. You know, somebody may have had a negative review at one point, and just because they had a negative review, you know, in 2017 doesn't mean that in 2019 they haven't learned from that review and improved their efforts. So I think it's important to really look at dates when you're looking at those reviews to see what's happening most recently, because there may have been a change for organizations, and it could be good or bad. This is important. Most social media usage is mobile, which means that if I am marketing, I need to make sure that I'm marketing for mobile usage. So if I'm looking at something on a small screen on my phone versus a large screen on my desktop or a computer, it's going to look like that little tiny 3 sentence is going to look like a large paragraph. So you want to be mindful of how much you're posting, how visible words are, the image, how much is to read, short, concise, clear. Those should be your goals. Myth 6, 3 key ways to limit the time investment in social media marketing. Look for underutilized employees, your employee advocates. Oh, we should fix the spelling here. Employee advocates. Our employees can be our advocates who can spend some of their time in social media marketing. This allows you to tap into existing peer networks and gain entry into existing circles of trust. My employees work for me. I pay them. They must like what they do. They must like the company. They must like the product, whatever it is. So I can start asking my employees to be advocates for the company, posting things for us, inviting people to events, selling products or marketing products. And then they're able to now tap into their own networks of their friends and their family. And so we can get who are part of their circle of trust. They're their friends and family. They trust their views, their opinions, their thoughts. They're more likely to want to be purchasing or be a part of whatever that those people are posting. Leverage efficiency tools to streamline social media efforts. There are a lot of different a lot of websites out there that you can streamline your social media use into one place. You can use mobile devices to help boost efficiency, which is what we talked about already. 65% of social media use is on a mobile device. So think about what you're posting. So these are all the different companies out there that you can use to help understand your customers. And they all, of course, overlap. So there's so many in there, but you can definitely, if you want to, pause this slide. I do post the PowerPoint where you can look at this. This is slide 18, and take a look at all the different companies out there who help with analytics, curation, publishing, customer care, listening, social selling, promotions. I mean, there are so many out there, and there might be one that works best for your company. Myth number 7. While most sites do not have a fee for usage, costs do include time and resources, fees for producing and creating content, fees for consultants or agencies involved in building and executing the social media strategy. It takes time to create that content. You have to take the time out of your day. You have to find the resources, which means the technology to create it. And then you have to take the time, once you've created it, to produce something that is worth watching. I mean, we're watching these things on our screens, videos. You want to make sure that that is captivating, exciting, enjoyable. So I've got this Wayfair posting, and I wanted you guys to just take a look at how I think Wayfair does a really good job of making sure that they market their products efficiently. So I'm going to just go ahead and make this a little larger so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna, actually you can't, and I'm so sorry, but I'll do this. So Wayfair, I want you to take a look at this image right here. This is how they posted. Let's say they're selling this table lamp. They've done a great job by posting this table lamp in an image that shows you how it could be utilized. And it also kind of gives you an idea of the size, the shape, visually how it might look. They give you the cost of all of these different ideas. So this is a visually appealing post. Then you get this post. So I'm going to move this one down here. You click on that image and it takes you over here. And you get to see the lamp by itself. So once you see this lamp by itself, if they just posted the lamp by itself, you are less likely to want to purchase this lamp than seeing the lamp in the image that you're seeing it here. Not only do you get to see the lamp, but as you scroll down, you can see all the other things that were featured within that specific image if you want to purchase them. So the last thing that they do is they do a really great job here of, once you click on that image of the lamp, they take you to where you purchase it. And again, they do a good job of kind of showing you visually how it would look in a different setting. See, you see it here on a coffee table, and now you can see it here on a side table. And I think they just do such a great job of trying to sell you on a product. Not just trying to sell you on the product, but selling you on the product and how it could be utilized. Now, if they didn't do all this, you'd probably not want to necessarily buy the product. If you just saw this lamp like this, you may not buy it through Wayfair. Yes, I see a lot of times if I was buying this directly from whoever manufactured this lamp, they probably have the image like that. So I can just see the lamp. A lot of times if you're buying appliances, they have just the appliance that you can see by itself, and then you may see an image to the left or right of it of the appliance in a kitchen, for example. So kind of a similar thing, but as a whole, Wayfair, they're selling overstocked items and they really want to get rid of them. So they want to show you how that item can be used with other overstock items that they have. I hope you guys were able to gain some knowledge here. This was a very useful lecture. I will make sure that there is a PowerPoint attached for you. And this is the myths and facts of social and digital media.